Hello students, myself Brinda Patel, Assistant Professor in Computer Engineering Department at Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology. Today we are going to learn about the topics understanding of delay, loss and throughput in the packet switching network and also about the network topologies. So in delay, we are recalled that the packet traveling from the source to the destination, the packet traveling from the source to the subsequent nodes, and the packet traveling from some sequence node to subsequent node to the another node and reach at the destination. So during his journey suffers from the various steps of the delay. So we can say that the packet travels from one node to along with this path the node, it is a host or a router, the packet are facing several delays. The several types of delays are, the most important of these delays are, the first one is the processing delay, second one is queuing delay, third one is transmission delay, and fourth one is propagation delay. So accumulating all delays is a nodal processing delay. The performance of the many internet application, for example searching in web browsing or email accessing using Google Maps, instant messaging, chat or video messaging are affected by this network delay. Now the first one is processing delay. So in this delay, the time required to examine the packet header information, in examining that the information that determine where to direct the packet. The processing delay is denoted by dproc. Processing delay also includes delay due to the time needed to check for bit level errors in the packet there are occurred while the transmitting the packets bits from the upstream router to the other router. So in that the processing delay also include the few of the parameters, for example time required to check the bit level error. So if it is occurred in the transmitting of the stream byte to the router, so it is measured in a microsecond. Now in this example, the source machines send the packets to the router A. At that time in router A determine the processing time. This processing time determines the location of the packet where to the direct, the packets where to direct. So this time it is known as the processing delay. Now the next one is queuing delay. So in queuing delay, at the queue the packet experiences queuing delay as it is waits to be the transmitted on the link. So in the queuing delay, the packets are coming from the source machine to the router and their router, and in their router it is waiting for the transmitting. So if the more packets are coming from the different sources at that time, it is in the queue. So we can say that if more packets are waiting for the transmission, the conjunction error will occur at that time. So in conjunction time the queue is full. So the delay of the viewing is very long, but if the queue is empty, so no one coming from the other sources, only the one source sending the packet, at that time the queuing is empty and delay will less. So queuing is full and in heavy traffic and the delay will be long. So the delay measures in the microsecond to the millisecond. See in this figure, only one source send the packet to the router A. At that time the packets are in the queuing. So and the transmitting it to the link or physical media. So if more than one sender send the packets to the router A and the packets are conjected and waiting here for the transmission, at that time the queuing will take more timing and long timing compared to the empty queue. So this queuing timing is known as a queuing delay. Now next one is transmission delay. In this, transmission delay, assuming that the packet are transmitted in first come first server like packet switch network. So the packet can be transmitted after the packet that have arrived before it have been transmitted. It depends on the packet length L and transmission rate R of the link from router to router, R bit per second. So the transmission delay is L by R, and generally it is measured in milliseconds or microseconds. Here is the example of the transmission delay. So it is measured over here. The length of the packet L and transmission rate of the channel or link. So now next is the propagation delay. In this propagation delay, the bit is pushed into the link. So it needs to be propagated, means circulate to the router B. So we can see that at the time that it required to propagate of the beginning of the link to the router B, it is a propagation delay. So the propagation delay defined as a time required by a packet to propagate from transmitting node to the receiving node. The propagation speed of a packet depends on the characteristic of a physical medium of the link and the distance between the nodes. So the propagation delay are in order of a millisecond. So we need denoted that the physical medium D link and the propagation speed as a S. So in propagation delay, the delay are from here to the means router A to the router B. This is the propagation delay. Now next is the packet delay. So in the packet delay, the packet loss is the failure of one or more transmitted packets to arrival at the destination. Sender send the packet to the router, and router transmitting the packets to the receiver. So the loss of data packets depends on the switch queue. The loss data packets increases with the increases in the traffic intensity. It affects the performance of the network. So sender send the packet to the router and the router transmitting that packets to the receiver. But if the router is in the queue or buffer, so if the queue is full, so at that time queue is full, so the congestion effect occurs at that time, so the packets may be lost. So when queue is empty, then packets are transmitting easily. So the loss of data packet depends on the buffer. It is increasing the traffic intensity. It is also affects the performance of the whole network. Now see in this example, the source machine sends the packet to the receiver. So if the buffer is free, it is easily transmitted that packets to the receiver, but buffer is full, so at that time packets will be lost. Next is throughput. It is a rate of successful message delivery over a communication channel, or we can say that physical medium. Throughput is measured in bits per second. So in this figure, the server contains the F bit file with which is sent to the client. So we have two link capacity. First is RS bit per second and other one is RC bits per second capacity link. So if data travel from server to the first link and then to the second link to the client, so the capacity is more than 1. If the data travel from server to the first link and then to the second link to the client, so the RC bits per second link capacity is more than 1. So RS more than 1, then RS bit per second. So the rate of successfully message delivery over a communication channel is a network throughput, and it is measured through a bit per second. Now we will discuss about the network topologies. So in network topologies, it is a systematic arrangement of a network or we can say that connecting a various node. The physical topology of LAN refers of the way in which the stations are physically interconnected. So we can define the topology as the manner in which nodes are geometrically arranged and connected is known as a topology of the network. Physical topology of a area network should have following features. First one is topology should be flexible to accommodate changes in physical locations of the stations. Other one is the cost of physical media and installation should be minimum. And third is the network should not have any single point of complete failures. So network topology refers to the physical layout of the network. Each topology has its own strengths and weakness. So we can say that network topology is the arrangement of the various computer systems or network devices are connected with each other. There are few types of the network topologies, which are: first one is bus topology, second one is ring topology, third one is star topology, fourth one is mesh topology, fifth one is tree topology, and the last one is hybrid topology. Now, so first one is bus topology. In bus topology, it is connected in a single cable. It is also called as a horizontal topology. So in the bus topology, multiple devices are connected one by one by means of the connectors or drop cable. When one computer sends a signal up the wire, all the computers in the network the network will receive that information, but only one accept the information, the rest discard the message. So in the network type, which is every computer and network devices are connected to a single cables. We can see it here in the figure. So bus is a passive topology because it requires termination. Cable cannot be left unterminated in a bus network. So terminators were the 50 ohm resistors that were connected to each end of the cable. So now the cable required least compared to the other network topologies. It is used in a small network. It is easy to understand and troubleshoot. So we can expand the topology, means it is easy to expand joining of two cables together. It is used in early LAN area network connection. Now the disadvantages. So if the main cable is breaks, then the whole network fails. If nodes are increasing and so the traffic is also increasing, at that time the network performance may be slow, that means it is decreasing. So it is difficult to troubleshoot in a bus and difficult to add the new node. So next is the second is the ring topology. So in the ring topology, it is in the form of the ring. We can see this in the figure. Means the computers is connected to another computer with the last one connected to the first computer, as we can see in the figure. So like two neighbors for each devices. So there are some features. So transmission of the data is in the sequential form, in the unidirectional form. So the data is transferred in a sequential manner, that is bit by bit. Now there are some advantages of the this topology. It is easy to troubleshoot and cheaper to install, and it is expand the and easy to expand the network. So if we want to add or delete one node, it will be disturb the whole network. There is a disadvantages of it, and failure of the one computer will disturb the entire network. Now next is the star topology. In this type of topology, all computers are connected to a single hub through a cable. So we can see here in the center there is a one hub, and the computers are connected with that hub. So computers are connected separately to the central node, which is known as the hub or switch. So every node has its own connection to the hub, so it will give the fast performance with the few nodes and with low traffic. So a triad topology consists of a number of devices connected by point-to-point links to a central hub. It is easy to control and traffic flow is simple. So data travels from the sender to central hub and then to the receiver. Now there are some features of that. So every node has its own dedicated connection to the hub, so it acts as a repeater for the data flow, right? So failures of any one node do not bring down the whole star network. There are some disadvantages also. So cost of installation is high. It is expensive to use, and if the hub is affected, then the whole network is stopped because of the all nodes are depends on that hub. So performance is based on the hub and the network. Now the next is mesh topology. So in this topology, it is have point-to-point connection to the other node, to the other devices. So the traffic is carried only between the two devices or two nodes in which it is connected. So we can see in this figure, each computers are connected with each other. So we can say that it is connected with each other, so it is robust but not flexible. So here are the features of the mesh topology. So it is very expensive because each computer is connected to every computer, right? So the mesh topology has link between each devices in the network. It is more difficult to install as the number of devices increases. Mesh networks are easy to troubleshoot, but much of the bandwidth available in the mesh configuration is wasted. So most mesh topology networks are not true mesh networks. Rather, they are hybrid mesh networks, or which contain some most important sites with multiple links. So here are the features: fully connected, robust, and not flexible. And advantages of the mesh topology is each connection can carry its own data. It is robust, and it is easy to troubleshoot, and it provides more security and privacy. Here are also disadvantages of the mesh topology. So installation and configuration is very difficult in mesh topology. So the cabling cost is more, and bulk wiring is required. That's why the cabling cost is more. Now the next is tree topology. It has root node, and all the other nodes are connected with it in form of hierarchy. We can see here in the figure. It is also known as the hierarchical topology. It should at least have 3 levels of hierarchy. So if we need to expand network, it is easily expand in this topology. There are features of the tree topology. It is used in the group of computers. So the example of the tree topology is a wide area network. Here are some advantages of the tree topology. So expansion of bus, and it is an expansion of bus and star topologies. And expansion of the node is possible in this topology. It is easy to manage and maintain, and it is easy to detect error in any of the network point. Here are some disadvantages of this topology. So it is a heavy cable wiring because of the hierarchical structure. It is heavy cable wiring, so it is also costly. If more nodes are added, then it is difficult to maintain or difficult to troubleshoot. but if the central node or root is failed, then remaining connected nodes which are connected to upper node are also failed. So the sixth one is hybrid topology. So hybrid topology contains more than one topology. It contains two or more topology structure, so we can say that it is a hybrid topology. We can see here in the figure there is one star topology and ring topology which are connected as a ring. So it is make a hybrid structure. So it contains a two or more topology structure. That's why it is known as a hybrid topology. If in one office they are using ring topology and also they are using a star topology structure, so by connecting these topologies together, we can get one hybrid topology. So in this, the network structure contains more than one topology. So a network structure whose design contains more than one topology is said to be a hybrid topology. Now there are some features of the hybrid topology. So it is flexible and reliable in error detection, and it is also easy to troubleshoot. So inherits the advantages and disadvantages of the topologies included. Advantages of the uh, hybrid topologies are: it is reliable as error detecting and troubleshooting in this easy, scalable as size can be increased easily, and it is very flexible. So there are some disadvantages also. So it is complex in design and it is scalable, so it is so costly. So we will discuss about the remaining topics of this unit in the next video. Thank you.